This meeting is being recorded.
Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, November 18th. We'll call the Wright County Board of Commissioners to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Pretty full agenda here today. First item on there, we'll begin with the approval of the minutes from November 4th. I'll stand for a motion or modifications at this time.
So moved.
All right. Motion by Commissioner
Mr. Chair.
Second by Commissioner Holland.
Mr. Chair, I would like to make a modification to the consent agenda D1.
All right, hold on. Just we have a motion, a second. Just want to say the motion maker is open to amendments on it.
No, I'm good with it.
You good with it?
Can I finish my comment or no?
Well, if the motion in the seconds on there, if we're going to be making suggestions for comments, the motion makers have to adopt or be willing to make that amendment. Otherwise, if they're not willing to make that amendment, we take a vote on this, and if it passes, we move forward. If not, then we can come back to your amendment.
For sure. Thank you, Chair.
All right. So at this time, we'll stand. We have a motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Holland. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Nay.
All right, minutes are approved 4-1. All right, today's agenda. Is anyone like to add or remove anything from today's agenda?
Mr. Chair, administration would like to add a memorandum of agreement between the Minpia Corrections Union and Wright County regarding life and disability insurance. I'd like to add that under consent agenda item A4.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to add an update to the county's transition to CCA. If we could do it after the consent agenda, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
We'll do it the first time agenda item, so I'll just gonna move that right on the top there. CCA transition, first time agenda item. All right, any other additions or corrections to today's agenda? Hearing none, I'll stand for a motion.
So moved. I'll second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Holland to approve today's agenda with the additions of consent agenda A4 and the CCA transition as the first timed agenda item. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, the agenda is approved unanimously. Today's consent agenda, would anyone like to remove anything from today's consent agenda for further discussion?
I'll make a motion. We accept the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Holland, second by Commissioner Moyna to approve today's consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. All right, the consent agenda is approved unanimous. Next, we have the first the first time agenda item, the CCA transition. Commissioner Moyna.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd just like to comment on our situation as it currently stands with the Minnesota Department of Corrections and Wright County's decision to transition to a community corrections system. Wright County was the largest county in the state that was still working through the DOC for felony probation. All counties that were larger than us and smaller ones have moved into a community corrections model because it improves public safety and provides local control. Back in April, as you remember, the county board approved a resolution announcing our intent to stop having the DOC provide felony probation. On November 10th, we officially have transitioned to become a community corrections model county and began operation at the Community Corrections as the Community Corrections Authority. However, we have run into a significant issue with the DOC Commissioner, Paul Schnell. As of today, we have not received any feedback from Mr. Schnell regarding our decision to handle our own community corrections, other than the extortion plot he has attempted to perpetrate on Wright County. We sent him our plan, and he has yet to give any feedback regarding our plan to take over felony probation at the county level. I don't want to get too deep into the details, but Mr. Schnell is trying to get Wright County residents to pay for his contractually required obligations with union employees. Aside from being ethically questionable, when does the state government department get the authority to try to extort money out of a county? If one of our employees went somewhere else to work, we wouldn't expect the new person's employer to pay our employee contractual obligations. Nobody does that, and that's because it's an absurd thought at several levels. I believe Mr. Schnell and the DOC are taking this shocking posture because they fear there may be 40 more counties after us that are waiting in line to make the shift from DOC to locally controlled community corrections. I don't believe Mr. Schnell or the DOC should try to balance its budget on the back of the citizens of Wright County by extorting the county. They have a contractual union obligation to pay their employees when they leave employment of the DOC. I think it's time for Mr. Schnell to own up to his responsibility to those employees who work for the DOC and stop trying to shake down Wright County residents to make his books work. Plain and simple, I think this is extortion.
Commissioner Moyna, I appreciate your comments there. Is there any board members have some questions regarding the transition to CCA? Staff has worked diligently hard here over the last 6+ months here to bring us to a community corrections organization here, transitioning from a state ran for felony oversight. And in that time, we have worked hard with the DOC. We have given them the documents as prescribed by state statute. And yet here we are. State is trying very, very diligently to find ways to pothole or stop this process from happening. Kirby, Commissioner Moyna, you have illustrated it quite well on how, I'm going to use the word chaotic this has become. And at this time, it's a very poor use of tax dollars at the state level to be fighting with us over a process that is prescribed in statute that was followed to the T on our side. And right now it creates a great level of ambiguity for the bench and where felony cases should be going. And it needs to be rectified sooner than later.
Mr. Chair, if I could comment to that. Commissioner, thank you so much for bringing this to light. Yes, we have been working on this very diligently and have followed everything we needed to follow. My commitment is to the residents of Wright County, and this isn't just about a policy disagreement. This has real consequences in how we deliver to our residents. So by all means, yes, I think this needs to be looked at.
Yeah, I concur. Thank you to Mike McMillan for all the hard work on this. And as a board, I feel we're committed to make this transition work. And this is a state's throwing a hurdle in our direction that is just unheard of.
So I think it's important that this message gets out there so that the players involved in this will hopefully take swift action to allow us to make this transition, and all pieces of the puzzle from a staffing and budgetary and funding perspectives are rectified so we can all move forward and have the best use of tax dollars in the oversight of felony cases here in Wright County. So with that, just was a public information, I assume, Commissioner Moyna?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring to light that what we've been dealing with behind the scenes is a lot of people don't often get to see how the sausage is made, as they say. And I think it was important to bring it up that we are being extorted or attempting to be extorted by the Department of Corrections and the Commissioner, Mr. Schnell.
All right. With that, we'll enter into our 9:05, which is now our 9:10, and we have our also famous Captain O'Malley, who's going to make his way here to the podium. He's here to sign autographs today.
Commissioners, what's that?
You're here to sign autographs today, right?
Yeah, sure. As long as it includes a pay bump, I'm good. No,
Work on that one.
thank you for having me here today. Thank you for giving me some time to talk a little bit about jail operations. We're here to ask for some money from the opioid fund regarding a system called reassurance. One of the things, and I'm sure that you've all seen some stuff on TV recently in the last probably year, jail things that are happening around the state, people that you typically see some really nasty looking video and whatever. Unfortunately, you don't always hear the whole story of that. One of the things that we have to do in the jail, we have, whatever our number of people are, we are required to do checks on all of our people. We typically work in about a 1 to 40 or a 1 to 60 housing ratio for staff to inmates. So meaning that there's no possible way for us to do 24/7 watching of any particular person. There's always going to be gaps. We are required by law to check on every person physically every 30 minutes. Which we do. We actually exceed that. We check on every person every 25 minutes, physically check on every person every 25 minutes. But unfortunately, there's still those gaps, and we can't know what's happening when we're not in a specific space watching a specific inmate. What this system will do is it will assist us with, once we identify those people that are in need of some kind of need, whether it be through withdrawal issues, whether it be through suicidal issues, whether it be other medical things. This system will place a monitor into the ceiling of the cell, and it will act like a Fitbit or a Apple Watch or whatever you want to call it, where it'll monitor the person's respirations, it'll monitor their heart rate, it'll monitor amount of movement that they're doing within that cell. And we can have it pulled up on a computer screen, and if once we establish whatever those thresholds are, it will sound an alarm for the officers to know that this person's fallen below those thresholds during those periods of time when we're not able to be physically looking at that individual. This product has been placed into a number of jails around the state now. When we started looking at it, Brandon Steen brought this to my attention. We'd actually been looking at it for a couple of years, but it was new technology. And as you know, when new things are on the market, they're extremely expensive and they're not super reliable yet. So as time has gone on, products have been refined. This came to our attention through a conference. We started talking to a few other jails that have already put it in. They've all used, everybody I spoke with in the state has used opioid funds to put this into their jails. Several new jails are being built around the state, and this product is going into those new builds as well. I believe there was a save just within the last 60 days up in the northern, I want to say Cass County, but I'm not 100% sure, with this system. We brought it forward to the board to hopefully be able to purchase it and place it. This is for 10 devices that would go into 10 cells. Like I said, we would triage those people and put them in and classify them into the appropriate place. And this will help our officers maintain the safety of those that are most at risk within our jail.
Thank you, Captain O'Malley.
You're welcome.
Questions?
Mr. Chair, I have just a comment on it. I support this request wholeheartedly. I think it's going to be a benefit for both staff and, of course, the inmates in the jail. I'm just, and it fits with the criteria of the opioid settlement committee and all of that. I mean, it's just a really good project, so I wholeheartedly support it. I just like to speak to the process. In the past, the opiate settlement committee brings a recommendation after they've worked hard to put criteria together, and RFP out and get applications for these for the settlement funds. That's my concern only, that we haven't followed the process. It's come right to the board. I'm not objecting to it. I'm going to vote yes. I think this is a great product. I just am concerned that we didn't follow the process. We have people on that committee that have met and put a lot of time and effort developing and having these RFPs go out, and they have to document that, all of this data, and track it. So I just know moving forward, we'll work together, and that will all get done. But it's important to me for the process to be followed. So thank you.
So, Captain O'Malley, I'm going to speak to this one. So, Commissioner Dietrich, just so you understand, and maybe you saw already this afternoon, if you read the workshop agenda, there was a reorg of the opioid committee that we're working forward with. Commissioner Moyna and myself have been working on trying to make some improvements to that committee. That committee we have found, as we previous in a couple board meetings before, had turned down a number of their recommendations, and we've seen previously a number of recommendations or lack of recommendations coming out of that organization, as well as that organization seems to only want to fund nonprofits, which we know across the state of Minnesota has been quite of a quandary in funding nonprofits and as to whether those funds are being spent properly or not. And that group has systematically almost denied any type of request by the county itself to use some of those funds. So I will actually say that I circumvented that group and actually worked on putting it on the agenda so we could get this purchase streamlined and move forward to the board so it can get done. And all while working with Commissioner Moyna, which we'll discuss this afternoon, on changes to that opioid committee so that we can get better parameters and a better understanding of how those funds should be used. I think there's a little bit of a misunderstanding on that group as to what abilities they do or do not have with those funds. They are a recommending body. They are not a deciding body.
Mr. Chair. Sorry to interrupt. I think this will be part of a very good and robust conversation that we'll have later, but as long as you're okay, I'd like to make a motion to approve the use of the opioid settlement funds to purchase the reassurance solutions monitoring system in the jail.
I'll second that.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Moyna. Motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Holland. Is there any other comments?
Yes, thank you for bringing this forward. I see this as a huge benefit. I think this
do
will
as well.
save us from a lawsuit that could
hope that it will,
potentially
too.
happen.
Yep.
And I'm glad, thank you, Commissioner Vetch, for bringing it forward in this timely manner so we can go move forward. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to say thank you to you too. Also, I know a lot of work went into that. Again, it's being fiscally responsible to where this money is both mostly utilized to be utilized the best for our area.
Mr. Chair, just a follow-up comment. We have funded the co-responder program for the Sheriff's Office as well, and that has been a great asset to our communities too.
Well, we have a motion. We have a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none. With that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Larkin. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. I'm here this morning to ask that you adopt a resolution proclaiming tomorrow, November 19th, as National GIS Day in Wright County. Just a few comments. It's National Geography Week. That's kind of why we do I ask you to adopt this time of year for the past 3 years now. It's a good week to talk about geography, talk about GIS, and just have those conversations and really just keep continuing to talk about this discipline. The GIS team closed 10 different projects this year, and I just want to highlight a couple of them. We worked with the Recorder's Office to convert a process that was done on paper maps to the digital product in ArcGIS. And for the GIS team, this is the first time we got new people using the tool GIS. And it's a big kudos to the land records processing specialists because learning GIS is not it's not an easy thing to do, but we got them building parcels in the software that we use. So that was a project that we haven't done before that was really good to accomplish. The second one is the cannabis setback application. We worked from October to February to create an application for our cities, but also our planning and zoning office in collaboration with public health to help interpret the ordinances that were passed in our cities and at the county for where you can license a cannabis retailer. So that was something we haven't really worked with our cities on a big project before, and doing that one was rewarding to get to give them a product where they can actually use GIS, interpret their ordinances, and make sure that they're making decisions that follow the ordinances they put in place. So that is all I have.
Thank you, Larkin.
I'll make a motion to approve this.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dietrich,
I'll second that.
second by Commissioner Holland to proclaim November 19th, that day of November, I was thinking of the week, the November 19th as National GIS Day here in Wright County.
And Commissioner Vetch, I'd like to thank you for all the hard work. Our cities do really appreciate that, all the work you did on that cannabis setback software. It is great. And it helps not only our staff here, but across the county. It's well received. Thank you.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't recognize Alex and Jacob for being really talented and doing a great job learning new skills and developing these applications. So
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, at this time, Resolution 2573, Commissioner Moyna.
Aye.
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 All right, resolution passes
Thank you.
unanimous. Thank you. Now we're down to the 913.
Morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Happy to welcome Shane Sheets, Director of the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office, and Dr. Ann Bracey, it's ANNE Bracey, a doctor at the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office. Dr. Piper had an emergency today, couldn't be here to present the annual medical examiner's report. And I apologize about the timeliness of it. I think Director Sheets and I we had a snafu with our email, so the report actually came earlier in the year, but I didn't see it timely, so it's a little bit later this year. But with that said, I'll turn it over to Director Sheets and Dr. Bracey. And I'll just note, kind of timely, we had a horrible, tragic murder last week in Cokato that, has gotten a fair amount of attention on the news. And Amber Check, unfortunately, lost her life. Seems like a great young woman. And Dr. Bracey actually performed the medical exam on Ms. Check. So you never know when we're going to need the services of the medical examiner's office. So appreciate all you do.
Thank you very much. And Mr. Chair, Commissioners, we appreciate you hosting us today. And again, condolences to your whole community. It was all over, I think, the U.S. news, correct? I think I heard it was on People's News and things like that. It's just unfortunate our small community can deal with that. But yeah, I'm Shane Sheets. I'm the director of the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office. And I don't want to steal Dr. Bracey's thunder here, but she is here to go through the annual report. The data that she's going to provide you today, we always hope that you as commissioners will look at that and act on it and decide kind of what you want to do with your community differently. But I just want to give you a quick update on one thing that we've done recently, and that's OD maps. If you're not familiar with it, I'm definitely happy to share the link and I can provide that to you. But the OD maps integration, we were the first medical examiner in Minnesota, if not the Midwest, to apply fatal overdose data in real time automatically for the communities. So it shows up as a heat map. So you can actually use that as for the opioid people or for the sheriff's office to really look and target these areas that might be facing overdoses and what's in their system when they pass. So that's been a huge help. And just to be clear, it's not outlining a specific address or individual. It's very vague and it's always updated. Typically it's reserved for EMS and law enforcement when they've delivered Narcan, an overdose, but really the fatal overdose data was lacking. So we as a medical examiner decided to take that piece over and automate it so that you can see that in real time as well. So if you have any administrative questions for me, I'm here. Otherwise, I will leave it to Dr. Bracey, our assistant medical examiner.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for having us today. Dr. Piper would have enjoyed being here today, but unfortunately, life happens. So about us, I think you all know us. Currently, we serve the Midwest Medical Examiner's Office provides services to 37 out of 87 Minnesota counties. That's about 32% of the population of Minnesota. We also serve counties in Wisconsin, and within the past year, we've started serving a county in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Our goal is always to provide and promote high-quality forensic services, forensic pathology services to the communities that we serve. Specifically for Wright County in 2024, you had 782 deaths total in your community. 572 of those, or 73%, were reportable to the medical examiner's office. As you know, the reportable are those non-natural manners of deaths or where an injury has occurred or where an individual might be a natural death, but they were not under a physician's care, so essentially not in a hospital. Of those 572 that were reported, 465 were declined. Those would be a lot of people who are registered in hospice. So they were reported to us when they die, but we decline jurisdiction or we determine that they do have a significant medical history and we can let their primary physician sign. So 107 cases were assumed out of the 572 reported. And then breaking down those numbers, of the 107 assumed cases, the majority of those are natural and accident, 41 and 36%, which is pretty standard across the medical examiner system. Very rare homicides, 2 homicides total. One of those was a law enforcement involved shooting. One of those was a domestic incident. So overall, your community is very safe. These are not random incidents as the unfortunate one last week. About 20% were suicides, and there was just one undetermined case, which means that we couldn't determine. It was an individual with a substance use disorder. Can't determine whether it was an accident versus a suicide. It was a very strange case, so there was one undetermined. Breaking down the accidental manner of death, so 39 of your cases out of 170 that we took jurisdiction of were accident. 32 of those were blunt force injuries, about 40% of those being motor vehicle collisions. The rest of those were mostly falls with fractures, falls with head injuries. So these are people at home on anticoagulants or older where they break a bone and then they kind of decline afterwards. 5 of those were drugs. Out of the drugs, 2 of those were misuse of unintentional misuse of prescription over-the-counter medications. 2 of those involved fentanyl with other substances. And one of them was actually an acute cardiac event, but because the individual was using methamphetamine, if a stimulant contributes to a cardiac death, we call that an accidental manner. 2 of those were unsafe sleep, unfortunately, a 2 and a 3-month-old. And I do participate in kind of statewide review infant mortality. One of the things that one of these infants was under a care of a non-parent. And we talk about kind of encouraging safe sleep, educating and encouraging safe sleep. We talk about statewide that parents get that education, but if they aren't in a license, if their child is being cared for by someone else, not a licensed daycare provider, that are these other people, other family members, non-licensed daycare, do they get the message about safe sleep? So that's something to think about in terms of prevention. Doing an overview from 2021 to 2024. This is when we kind of have our newer case management system so we can compare. The manner of death by year has been relatively stable. You do see the spike in 2020 in motor vehicle collisions and that was kind of seen nationwide during the COVID pandemic for whatever reason that motor vehicle accidents spiked. But the rest of the manners stayed pretty stable across the years. On the next slide, it's a 4-year comparison of the subclassification. So on the next slide, if somebody can scroll down. The important thing here to note is that the drug substance abuse deaths, they have declined dramatically. And again, this is kind of a nationwide trend we're seeing, going from 15 in 2021 to 5 in 2024. So this is a encouraging trend. I don't think anyone has, I don't know if it's getting the drugs out of the market, making more Narcan available. I don't know if there's been kind of a theories as to why these numbers are coming down. And then on the next slide, so just the substances overall that are in the community. Again, reflecting kind of nationwide trends, fentanyl and methamphetamine are the most common, 3 each. Cocaine has kind of been making a comeback. We've been seeing that increasingly. One of the deaths in Wright County had cocaine present. Heroin, very rarely see that. And then xylazine, you had one case, and as you may know, xylazine is an adulterant that has been added to typically fentanyl. It's quote horse tranquilizer. It's they're adding cutting substances into the drugs, trying to essentially get a better high. So that is the data for 2024. Are there any questions?
No, I appreciate the information here. I just learned something. I've never even heard of xylazine or whatever.
That's what I was thinking.
Interesting.
Thank you. And this is
you.
really good information for our public health people that are in the room too. It's always, it was well put together. Thank you.
Yes, Jamie Ryerson, our public health, she has a master's in public health now, and she did a great job putting this together, along with all of our hardworking people in our office.
Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come out here and giving us the overview over the last year. So hopefully next year will be even better and seeing more downward trends as we've seen over the years. So
Thank you so much. And again, if public health or anybody has any questions, please feel free to have them reach out to us. We're happy to discuss, especially with xylazine new in the market. Yeah, you're noticing even a trend of people actually having sepsis from xylazine, like it eats tissue. So don't Google that. I don't encourage it. But no, we do appreciate your services as well in serving your community. And again, we do express our condolences for your recent loss. That's covered everybody. So, all right, you guys take care.
Thanks.
And now moving on to our 918, Lindsay. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Board.
Good morning.
Before you is a request to set 2 public hearings. Back to back would be fantastic if possible, but whatever works for your schedules. We have a subordinate sewer district that the county owns and is serviced by the city of St. Michael. Typically, a delinquent utility bill would be certified by the city that services. However, because it's under our jurisdiction, we need to certify the delinquent utility bills here at the county level. So that's the first. And the second is for an emergency fix that occurred on this same sewer line. The fix was enacted by the city of St. Michael, which then the county had to subsequently reimburse the city for. And because it is not broadly used, it is an item that needs to be special assessed to the users of that sewer district.
So you're looking to do December 16th at 9:30 and 9:40?
Mr. Chair, I'd recommend we just schedule both of them at 9:30.
We can do that? Okay, I didn't know if we had to make it as 2 separate.
We just can't do it before 9:30.
Yeah, okay.
I'll make that motion.
All right.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Shane to set 2 public hearings for the St. Michael Subordinate Sewer District and December 16th at 9:30 and 9:30 a.m. in this room. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous. And moving on to our 920. Chad is making his way up to the podium. We have the first item on there would be to approve Resolution 2574 for the sponsorship of the Monticello Township Local Road Improvement Program application.
All right. Morning, Chairman, Commissioners. We have 4 separate resolutions for the Local Road Improvement Program grants that are due December 12th by local agencies. And part of a condition of any city or township under 5,000 that can't receive state funds, we have to pass a resolution to saying that we'll receive the funds and make sure they're expended properly. So we have 4 so far this year. The last round was in 2023, and we had 4 projects selected in Wright County, which is pretty impressive. There was only $105 million. I think we received over 5% of that. So we received it for Concord 137. Albertville got $1.5 million for Maine. Buffalo Township over $1 million for 12th Street, and St. Michael for Lander Avenue, another $1.5 million. So each of the 4, there's 4 different categories. So, and we basically received a project in each category. So we score well on this type of stuff. So we encourage them to apply. Any questions, I can try to answer them. But like I said, the first one is Briarwood and 90th in Monticello Township, which is by Bertram. So we can take those one by one if you.
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 2574 for Bertram.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Holland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Shane. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Resolution vote. Commissioner Shane?
Aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimous. Next would be 2575.
Yeah, this is Marysville Township, Clementa Avenue, and corresponding the city of Montrose is applying for basically the same project. So they have 2 separate pots of money, double their chances of receiving some funds. So any questions now? So.
And do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Moyna to approve Resolution 2575. A resolution vote. Any discussion? None. I'll vote aye.
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 All right, resolution passes unanimous. Next would be Resolution 2576.
Just to see. Yep. Oh,
Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Shane. Is there any discussion on Resolution 2576? Hearing none. Commissioner Holland?
Aye.
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 Aye. Resolution passes unanimous. Now we have a resolution 2575 for Franklin Township.
So moved.
77.
Or 2577.
So moved.
Too many numbers in a row.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Dietrich, second by Commissioner Moyna. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Commissioner Dietrich?
Aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimous. Awesome.
All right.
Chad, I'd just like to say thank you. We're working with our townships and our communities. I really appreciate the effort and getting these put forward. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right. Ross, waiting so patiently out there.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. We have a couple of requests before you. The first one would be entering into a master service agreement with SRF Consulting Group, and that's for providing consulting services for park and recreation projects. Specifically, we're going to be looking at least initially for some of our grant funding projects. As we've progressed with grants and applications, the requirements for concepts and more in-depth cost breakdowns and cost estimates are being required, and that's a little bit beyond what staffing is able to do, at least to be competitive with a lot of these grants. And so we're really looking to enter into agreement so we kind of we can rely maybe some quicker turnaround instead of going out after an RFP every time we have a grant come up. Sometimes those grants come up and it's a quick turnaround to get those through. We also have several master plans throughout some of our regional parks, and as we want to modify those, it would be nice to, some of the public engagement pieces, if we're able to use one firm, potentially we'd be able to provide some of those public engagement pieces through a couple different projects instead of doing a public engagement piece for, say, 3 or 4 projects, and kind of looking for some cost savings with that as well. So we had 4 firms apply. SRF really stood out. We felt there's 3 staff that scored them through a best value. And the 2 things that really, I think we thought were their capacity as far as having engineering. They have a lot of professionals. They do a lot of regional trail grant support, and then park and recreation. They've done master plans and consulting in the past, and their cost too. They were very specific with their costs. A lot of the other firms provided more of a range, where SRF, they provided specific costs.
Ross, I appreciate the work in this. This makes sense to get the economy of scale with it. And I appreciate the diligence you put in looking at a variety of different firms for this. So I think it was well vetted. So I would support in that motion by the
I'll make a motion
board.
to accept the master service plan.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Holland, second by Commissioner Shane to approve the master agreement with SRF Consulting for our Parks Department. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. Thank you. Next item.
Great, thank you. I believe the next item is for the Minnesota Land Trust for the access easement. Am I right? Very
Yep,
good. Thank
Harry
you.
Larson, yep.
For Harry Larson Park. So if you recall, we talked through this at the Ways and Means Committee. It came back to the board for approval. We're going to be purchasing with the Minnesota Land Trust, and we're using park dedication funds and some pullback dollars for a 41-acre piece, just under, about $7,000 an acre. That's already been approved. As part of that, the Minnesota Land Trust is going to be providing a conservation easement on that 40 acres. That has to happen before we purchase the property, because they can't do it on a public land. They have to do that on private land. As part of that, there's a requirement to provide an easement through the park to the land. That's part of their requirements. And so really that's just following the established trails that are already there. So this is more a formality than anything else, but something that's needed to push this project forward.
All right. At this time,
I'll make the motion to accept that.
all right, motion by Commissioner Holland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Shane to approve the agreement with the Minnesota Land Trust for access to Harry Larson Park. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. Thanks.
Sweet. All right, last one. I'm 2 for 2, so let's go. 3 for 3. So the next one is to approve an MOU with the City of Monticello for the design and bidding support of a shared maintenance facility at the Bertram Channel Lakes Regional Park. This has been approved at the CIP level already at the January 29th to move forward with this. So we're partnering with the city of Monticello. We're just going through the design and engineering phase right now. The city of Monticello has dedicated $80,000, and we have put up $45,000 for this design and engineering phase. And so the MOU really just kind of outlines that this county is really going to be taking the lead on this, and then just also just has that the city, we're not going to be moving forward without the interaction with the city.
This is great that we're able to get the collaboration out of this. Appreciate your time, Ross. It's been a number of meetings and conversations to get to the point there that this building has been talked about and needed out there for quite some time. So it's been well vetted.
Yes, it has.
So with that, I'll entertain a motion to approve the MOU with the city of Monticello for the design and bidding support for the shared maintenance building. Motion by Commissioner Dietrich, second by Commissioner Holland. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're coming down to the end of the agenda here today. We have just one brief minutes to approve under items for consideration was the minutes and recommendations from the Personnel Committee on November 10th. We met there with Sean Johnson, Administrator Kreiser, Commissioner Shane, and myself, and Administrator Clay. We discussed the backfilling of the Highway Department's maintenance position. We've already looked over it, and we would have delays in our road maintenances and plowing if we didn't backfill this position because we run our highway department nice and lean. So the recommendation was to move forward with backfilling that position that came open. And the other one was a grant opportunity for a cadet position within the sheriff's office, which I think is a great program, and we see a lot of value in trying to work through that and see if people can transition from one line of work to law enforcement. So
I'll make a motion to approve those recommendations.
Second.
all right, motion by Commissioner Holland, second by Commissioner Shane to approve the minutes and recommendations from the November 10th Personnel Committee. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right.
Chairman Betch,
Minutes
can I
approved,
just
yes.
make an acknowledgement? One of our own staff members, Drew Sherber, last night received the STMA, he's the STMA board chair, and he got the All-State School Boards Award that is given out of the 2,000 school board members. They picked 7. And he got this award last night. He will be giving it to him officially in January at the Minnesota School Board Association Convention. He's served 20 years as a board member for St. Michael Albertville, and his leadership has made STMA one of the best schools in the state of Minnesota.
Well, Commissioner Holland, we appreciate you sharing that, and congratulations to Drew Sherber for his great work within the school district and here at Wright County. He's a great asset and value to the citizens of Wright County. He is definitely a true servant of the people.
Absolutely.
And with that, no other business to come before the county board? No other comments, anyone? All right. With that, we'll adjourn the county board meeting at 9:45.